Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is July 28th. It's 4:26 a.m. here in Yucatan, Mexico, and I have a very important message I would like to share with you tonight or this morning. But I would like to start out with a prayer from Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. May God be blessed tonight, and may you be blessed also as you are listening to this message. I want to share with you tonight about an investigative document that I have prepared, an article connecting the New World and the New World Order to August 2nd through August 4th, 2025. And today will come as a 7-day warning to the New World Order of August 4th, 2025. So as I said, this is going to be an investigative document that I have searched out, and I have put together this article about the New World, connecting that to the New World Order, connecting that to August 2nd through August 4th, 2025. And so let me begin here as I investigated the term the New World and where the New World began, because the New World Order comes from the New World. So the term New World originated during the Age of Exploration in the late 15th and early 16th centuries. It refers to the Americas, North, Central, and South America after their discovery by the Europeans. Origins of the term. The first use. The term New World, Latin mundus novus, is most famously associated with Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian explorer. In 1503, Vespucci published a letter titled Mundus Novus, in which he argued that the lands discovered by Europeans across the Atlantic were not part of Asia, as initially believed, but rather a previously unknown continent. This marked a clear break from the classical worldview based on the Ptolemaic geography, which only recognized Europe, Asia, and Africa. Why was it called the New World? Well, this was contrast with the Old World, being Europe, Asia, and Africa, being considered the Old World, the parts of the world known to Europeans before the voyages of Columbus and others. The New World was new to European awareness, not to the people who had lived there for millennia, and it was a new geographic reality. The discovery forced a revision of world maps and understanding. The New World concept reflected the idea that these lands were part of a separate landmass, not Asia's eastern edge. Over time, the New World came to refer more broadly to the Western Hemisphere, especially in contrast to Europe and Asia. In colonial and post-colonial discourse, it also gained cultural and political meanings, representing new beginnings, opportunity, or untamed wilderness from a Eurocentric viewpoint. Important note, the term reflects a Eurocentric perspective. The indigenous civilizations of the Americas, such as the Aztec, Maya, Inca, and many others, had long histories, advanced societies, and vast territories before Europeans arrived. For them, it was not a new world at all. Here's a timeline showing how the concept of the New World developed during the Age of Exploration, especially from a European perspective. Timeline, the evolution of the New World concept. Before 1492, this was the classical worldview before 1492. Ptolemaic geography from Greek scholar Ptolemy dominates European understanding. The world consists of 3 continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa, surrounded by ocean. No knowledge of the Americas, Australia, or Antarctica in European science. 1492, Columbus sails west. Christopher Columbus, under Spanish sponsorship, reaches the Caribbean. He believes he has arrived in East Asia, the Indies, and calls the people Indians. No concept of a new world yet. He assumes he's found a new route to known lands. 1499 to 1502, Amerigo Vespucci's voyages. Amerigo Vespucci, exploring South America, realizes these lands are not part of Asia. He observes vast coastlines and new star patterns, which leads him to propose that this is a fourth part of the world. 1503, Mundus Novus published. Vespucci writes a letter titled Mundus Novus New World, describing the new lands as a separate continent, not Asia. The letter is widely published in Europe and sparks the idea that this is truly a new world unknown to ancient writers. In 1507, the name America is coined. Martin Waldseemüller, a German cartographer, publishes a world map labeling the continent America in honor of Amerigo Vespucci. This is the first time America is used to describe the new continent. The map includes a clear separation between the Old World, Europe, Africa, and Asia, and the New World, the Americas. Between 1510 and 1600, colonization and conquest, Spain, Portugal, England, France, and others begin to colonize the New World. The term is widely adopted to describe lands across the Atlantic. Indigenous civilizations like the Aztecs and Incas are conquered. European maps and texts increasingly refer to these regions as the New World. 17th and 18th century philosophical and cultural usage. European writers and thinkers begin to romanticize or critique the New World as a place of freedom, savagery, opportunity, or danger. Enlightenment thinkers debate the morality of colonization and the nature of the indigenous peoples. The term also becomes tied to ideas of the noble savage, natural purity, and civilizational contrasts. Modern use from the 19th to the 21st century. New World becomes a general term for North, Central, and South America. In wine and food, it's used to contrast products from the New World, US, Chile, Australia, with those from Old World, France, and Italy. Today, it's recognized as a Eurocentric historical term, and scholars emphasize indigenous histories and perspectives. So here is a summary table, pre-1492, no awareness of a new world, no awareness of the Americas in Europe. 1492, Columbus reaches the Caribbean. Believe he's found Asia. 1503, first use of the New World concept. America appears on the map, 1507. The 16th to 17th century, widespread colonization, New World becomes common term, and through the 18th to the 21st centuries, critiques of the terms Eurocentrism. Now, Columbus set sail on August 3rd, 1492, from Palos de la Frontera, Spain, but here is the nuance. Technically, no, the New World was not discovered on August 3rd, 1492. On August 3rd, Columbus had not yet reached any land. He was simply beginning his westward voyage. The actual landfall happened on October 12th, 1492, when he reached what is now known as the Bahamas. That date is more traditionally cited as the European discovery of the New World, again from a Eurocentric viewpoint. However, August 3rd, 1492 is historically significant. It marks the beginning of the voyage that would lead to Europe's awareness of the Americas, and Columbus's departure set in motion a major turning point in world history, initiating centuries of exploration, colonization, and cultural change. All of this connected to August 3rd, 1492. So how should we say it? Here is a balanced, historically responsible phrasing. On August 3rd, 1492, Columbus set sail from Spain on a voyage that would lead to Europe's first lasting contact with the Americas, lands that would later be labeled the New World. Or more directly, while the Americas were not discovered on August 3rd, 1492, that day marked the beginning of the expedition that would bring them to the attention of Europe. Yes, there is a remarkable coincidence between the two events, and many historians and scholars have explored whether there's a deeper connection between Christopher Columbus's departure from Spain on August 3rd, 1492, and the Edict of Expulsion, Alhambra Decree, which gave Spain's Jews a deadline of August 2nd, 1492 to leave the country. While a direct official link has never been proven, the overlap in timing is too precise to ignore, and several theories suggest the events may be interrelated politically, socially, and even personally. The timeline at a glance. March 31st, 1492, Ferdinand and Isabella signed the Edict of Expulsion. August 2nd, 1492, deadline for all unconverted Jews to leave Spain. August 3rd, 1492, Columbus set sail from Palos de la Frontera, Spain. So is there a relationship? Political and religious context. Spain was undergoing a campaign of religious unification under Catholicism. The monarchy saw both the expulsion of the Jews and the voyage of Columbus as part of a grand plan to purify Spain from non-Christians, Jews and Muslims, and expand Catholic influence abroad through exploration and colonization. Columbus himself framed his journey as partly for spreading Christianity. Quote from Columbus's journal: "Your Highnesses, as Catholic Christians and princes devoted to the holy Christian faith, thought to send me to convert the peoples." Okay, so the Spain was connected to the expulsion of Jews on August 2nd, and August 3rd was the trip that began of Columbus to heading to the New World. Logistical and symbolic overlap. On August 2nd, many Jews were crowding Spain's ports, fleeing for exile. On August 3rd, Columbus departed from the very same ports, such as Palos, that Jews had passed through or were leaving from. This has led to the symbolic interpretation that as Spain was closing its doors to Jews, it was opening the gates to a new world. The New World began as Spain was closing its doors to Jews. I don't think there's anything more significant than this phrase, connecting the New World to August 2nd and August 3rd, 1492. As Spain was closing its doors to Jews, it was opening the gates to a new world order. Crypto-Jewish Connections. Some of Columbus's financial supporters, such as Luis de Santangel, were conversos, Jews who had converted, often under duress. Some scholars argue Columbus may have been from a converso family, or at least had Jewish sympathies. His mysterious signature and references to the Jewish calendar have been interpreted by some as crypto-Jewish signs, but no official statement links them. There is no written document from Columbus or the Catholic monarchs explicitly connecting his voyage with the expulsion. It may have been coincidence, or it may have been deliberate symbolic timing. Columbus never directly references the Edict of Expulsion in his surviving journals or letters. Interpretations vary by scholar. Viewpoint summary: traditional. The events happened close together but were unrelated, pure coincidence. Symbolic. The timing represents Spain's transition from expelling Jews to expanding Catholicism. Crypto-Jewish theory. Columbus or his allies were secretly Jewish and timed the voyage with the expulsion to escape or in response to persecution. In summary, while there is no conclusive evidence that Columbus's departure on August 3rd was directly caused by the Jewish expulsion, the striking timing, just one day after the deadline, has led many scholars to believe the events were symbolically, politically, or personally connected. Okay, so now here in red, here's a question that I asked to ChatGPT as I was studying all of this information out, and then I will share the answer that I received. So this is my question. Investigating the New World, which technically may have begun on August 3rd, 1492, when Christopher Columbus set sail from Spain, how is that connected to the New World Order? And could the New World Order also be connected to the same date, August 3rd or August 4th, but also connected to the 9th day of the 5th month on the Hebrew calendar, which is the day of all tragedies in Israel? This is connected to the August 2nd, 1492 Edict of all Jews having to leave Spain on that day, and then Christopher Columbus setting sail the very next day in search of the New World. How is all of this connected, and where did the term New World Order begin? Here is the answer. You're touching on a profoundly symbolic and historical convergence of events that many scholars, theologians, and researchers have pondered for centuries. Let's unpack the connections between August 3rd, 1492, the expulsion of the Jews from Spain, the voyage of Columbus, the concept of the New World, and the origins of the term New World Order, as well as their possible alignment with Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of the 5th month on the Hebrew calendar. 1. August 2nd, 1492. The Edict of Expulsion, Tisha B'Av, 1492. Event. All Jews in Spain were ordered to leave by July 31st, 1492, which corresponded to 9 Av 5252, or Tisha B'Av on the Hebrew calendar, with enforcement beginning August 2nd. Tisha B'Av is the saddest day in Jewish history, marking the destruction of both the First and Second Temples, the expulsion from England in 1290, the expulsion from France in 1306, and the expulsion from Spain in 1492. Historical irony. On the very same day that Jews were exiled from Spain, a symbol of destruction and judgment, Columbus was preparing to set sail on August 3rd toward what would become the New World, a symbol of discovery, opportunity, and for many Jews, a new place of refuge. Number 2. August 3rd, 1492. Columbus set sail. Columbus departed Palos de la Frontera, Spain, with 3 ships, Niña, Pinta, and Santa Maria. His mission was funded by Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, who also signed the Alhambra decree expelling the Jews. Some theories suggest that Columbus himself may have had Jewish ancestry or crypto-Jewish ties, as did many conversos, Jews forced to convert, involved in exploration. Connection. The very day after the Jews were expelled, a journey was launched that would eventually open up a haven for Jewish survival, freedom, and even influence, especially later in North America. Number 3. New World versus New World Order. What is the link? The term New World began to appear after Columbus's voyages, first used around 1503 by Amerigo Vespucci. It represented the Americas as distinct from the Old World, Europe, Asia, and Africa. The term New World Order is much more modern, but draws philosophical and prophetic meaning from this idea of a new beginning. Where did New World Order initiate? The earliest uses were geopolitical, not mystical. It gained traction after World War I and especially after World War II, when global leaders spoke of reorganizing the world system. Key mentions of a New World Order. Woodrow Wilson, after World War I, his idea of a League of Nations was described as a New World Order. George H.W. Bush, in 1991, famously declared a New World Order after the Cold War, referring to a world led by U.S. global dominance and UN cooperation. In conspiracy theory circles, New World Order refers to a global elite or system aiming to control or restructure world power and belief systems. Number 4. Prophetic and spiritual overlap. Now we bring the Hebraic, spiritual, and prophetic dimension together. Tisha B'Av, a day of repeated historical trauma, judgment, exile, and mourning for the Jewish people. August 3rd and 4th, the beginning of a new global era in terms of exploration, colonization, and the foundations for modern globalism. The New World would later become America, which in many views becomes a haven for Jewish survival after centuries of European persecution, becomes a center of global influence economically and spiritually, is deeply connected with Zionism, prophecy, and modern Israel. Some interpret this convergence to mean that the New World was divinely prepared as a temporary refuge and platform for the unfolding of end-time prophecy, including the restoration of Israel, the global preaching of the gospel, the rise of global systems, possibly leading to the final beast system or New World Order. It's 5 minutes to 5, and you can hear the birds chirping now in the background. It's going to be, sun is going to be coming up any minute now, and I am really, really tired, so I had to take a break and get some caffeine here to keep me going until I can get the rest of this document done. I want to finish well, finish strong. So here we are at number 5, August 3rd and 4th and the New World Order connection. These dates may symbolize a hinge in prophetic history. August 2nd, Tisha B'Av, judgment and scattering. August 3rd, discovery and migration. August 4th, some speculate as the true day of departure due to time changes and voyage records. Some researchers speculate this timing marks the beginning of the end of the Old Age and the transition into the final era, setting in motion events that will culminate in a one-world system, religious, economic, and political. Summary of the connections. Edict of Expulsion, August 2nd, 1492, the 9th day of Av, judgment on Israel and exile. Columbus departs, August 3rd, 1492, beginning of the New World Era. The term New World emerges in 1503, a new beginning and a refuge, New World Order usage, 20th century and onward, global system, end times alignment, and Tisha B'Av, 9th of Av, Hebrew calendar, pattern of judgment and restoration. Reminding everybody that this answer that I received to my question is coming from ChatGPT. Final thought on this section, because there's more I'm going to be going over. Final thought. If viewed through a prophetic lens, the New World Order may be the man-made global culmination of the New World that Columbus unknowingly initiated. God used the same moment of judgment on his people to set the stage for global fulfillment, both for restoration and confrontation between Israel and the world systems. It is as if August 3rd, 1492 marks a hidden hinge in history, the death of the old and the beginning of the new. President George H.W. Bush publicly mentioned the term New World Order in a speech to a joint session of Congress on September 11th, 1990. Key date, September 11th, 1990. Quote from the speech. Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order can emerge. A new era, freer from the threat of terror, stronger in the pursuit of justice, and more secure in the quest for peace. This speech was delivered in the context of the Gulf War buildup, Operation Desert Shield, after Iraq had invaded Kuwait. Bush was laying out a vision of a unified, cooperative international order led by the U.S. and its allies. Why it matters. The phrase New World Order caused a great stir and later becomes the focus of much speculation and conspiracy. The date itself, September 11th, would later become even more significant in U.S. and world history due to the terror attacks on 9/11 in 2001, exactly 11 years later. From the day of George H.W. Bush's speech, where he mentions the New World Order, September 11th, 1991, adding 33 years, 3 months, 33 weeks, and 3 days, 333 brings us to August 2nd, 2025, the exact day of the edict for the expulsion of the Jews in 1492. From Tuesday, September 11th, 2001, 10 years later when the Twin Towers were attacked, it's 23 years, 3 months, 33 weeks, and 3 days to August 2nd, 2025. So we have all of this connected to the number 33. And if we go from August 2nd, 1492 to August 2nd, 2025, it is also 533 years. 33, 33, 33. And all of this is connected to the expulsion of the Jews from Spain and the beginning of the New World. August 2nd and August 3rd, 1492. What is the significance of the number 33 connected to the New World Order or the Illuminated Ones? And I would like pictures to go with this. This is another discussion that I want to pursue on ChatGPT. And so I ask this question. What's the significance of the number 33 connected to the New World Order or the Illuminated Ones? And I would like pictures to go with this. The number 33 holds deep symbolic, esoteric, and occult meaning, especially within Freemasonry. Esoteric traditions and conspiracy theories often tied to the Illuminated Ones or the Illuminati and the New World Order narrative. Let's explore its significance, and then I can provide images to visualize these concepts. The number 33, symbolism and significance. Freemasonry in the 33rd degree. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry consists of 33 degrees. As I'm editing this video and I'm coming up to this detail of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, I'm reminded that right now, for some reason, over these days that we are watching, leading up to the 9th of Av, Donald Trump right now is in Scotland, and Freemasonry began in Scotland. So I don't know more about that. I'm not going to look into that right now, but I'm sure there's no doubt in my mind that this is the reason why he's in Scotland right now. It's connection to the final rites of Freemasonry connected to the number 33 and everything else that I'm talking about leading up to the 9th of Av. The 33rd degree is the highest honorary level and symbolizes spiritual illumination, mastery, and leadership. Only a small number of Masons ever reach the 33rd degree, often influential in politics, religion, or finance. The connection to power, secrecy, and hierarchy fuels theories that global elites or illuminated rulers operate under this structure. Illuminati connections, or the illuminated ones. Illuminati means the enlightened, or the illuminated ones. Some claim the Illuminati use numerology, sacred geometry, and 33 as a power number to encode messages in world events, architecture, and governance. It's often cited in dates of events, number of steps in monuments, levels of command, or symbolic orders. 33 in world events and global power structures. 33rd parallel north. Some major cities and conflict zones lie along or near this line: Baghdad, Dallas, Phoenix, Jerusalem, fueling speculation about esoteric geography. JFK was assassinated in Dallas near the 33rd parallel, viewed by some as a ritualistic event tied to Masonic symbolism. The United Nations flag has a globe divided into 33 sections. Spiritual and occult numerology. Jesus is said to have been 33 years old at his crucifixion. 33 is viewed as a master number in numerology, representing compassion, enlightenment, and spiritual guidance. Occultists and mystics often associate it with the spinal column, which has 33 vertebrae, through which the Kundalini energy is said to rise to reach enlightenment. The number of the Illuminati, 33. New World Order, 33. The United Nations, 33 sections in the United Nations world map. 33 in the Strong's Concordance is connected to age, world, eternity, Christological connections. Though age itself is absent from the Greek New Testament, its theological footprint appears in Christ's imperatives: follow me, go, and come. Every such summons culminates in Revelation 22:17, the Spirit and the bride say, come. The eschatological hope of believers is framed by the same gracious imperative that first called humanity to repentance. Conclusion. Age captures the heartbeat of redemptive history, a commanding, gracious, and sometimes fearful come from the Lord of heaven and earth. Whether heard in the corridors of Babel, the streets of Jerusalem, or the preaching of the gospel today, the word confronts every listener with a choice: obey the divine call or follow lesser voices. On July 27, 2004, Barack Obama was revealed to the world at the Democratic National Convention. At this time, he was a senator in Chicago, in the state of Illinois. This is the day that he was revealed to the world. He became a world-known figure on this day. And this day, July 27, 2004, was the 9th of Av on the Hebrew calendar, the day of the destruction of both temples. August 4th has been turned into a holiday called Barack Obama Day. In 2025, Obama turned 64. The 9th of Av is August 3rd, 2025. In this year is the 9th of Av. His birthday, August 4th, is the 10th of Av, and it was exactly on the 10th of Av, on August 4th, in the year 70, that the Second Temple was destroyed. The same day on the Gregorian calendar, and the same day on the Hebrew calendar, 4th of August and the 10th of Av. Obama turned 64, and he was revealed to the world on the 9th of Av in 5764. The revealing happens at 64, and Obama turns 64 in 2025. 64 in the Greek concordance means to catch or to ensnare. This is used once in the New Testament in Mark chapter 12, verse 13. Later they sent some of the Pharisees and Herodians to Jesus to catch him in his words. To catch and to ensnare, to catch him in his words. 64. Obama 64, revealed on the 9th of Av in 57-64 and on his 64th birthday. I believe we can say with strong confidence that this statement can be read without a question mark. The New World Order, August 2nd through 4th, 2025. The end shall be known from the beginning. The New World Order, August 2nd through 4th, 2025. For those who doubt this information, this question mark is for you. I have prepared this document into a PDF and will leave it on my Google Drive for public use and downloading. So this entire document you can have and you can study on your own and you can confirm all this information and you can continue researching this for the next week until Jesus comes for his bride and his church on what should have been the day that Israel was entering into the promised land, on the 9th of Av, when instead of entering into the promised land, they were banished into the desert for 40 years. The 9th of Av, the predestined day to enter the promised land. Are you ready for the return of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? I pray you are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with the trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.